My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train 2. We've got Banished Underlegion with, an absolute glut of equipment in the base deck already. 2 Penitents Blood Suits, and also Loam Coat, useful equipment, nice. 2 Ember, 2 Ember, not 2 size for the unit, although 2 Ember, 2 size for the Avenger, we'll talk about in a moment. 2 Ember, 20 health, there you go. Resolve, gain regen 1, and then propagate 2. So you gain regen 3, but you're also propagating 2 to all of your other buffs that you might have on you, including Valor. We've also got an Avenger, 2 Ember 2 size, Revenge, apply melee weakness 1 to the attacker. Also, Herzl's Horde, gain 4 deployment Ember, which means it's going to be a lot easier for us to play the Avenger, but also to play a deployable Loam Coat properly. Saphraternus Chosen of Dominion is going to require we have a very comfortable tank in the front line. Fleshweaver and Stryx and Hallow, woo! New bosses, new bosses, new bosses! Ooh, Split Anvil has no triggers for it in the deck just yet, but obviously can do some pretty cool stuff with that. But also Pyrestone Housing. In the world where I have Herzl's Horde, Pyrestone Housing just gives me the ability to invest more into the things that are deployable, because my units will have an extra upgrade slot. Let's do that. Ugh. I don't really like the micromanagement of having to optimize every individual fight for permanent gain. It is just a thing that you do if you have the option. That doesn't necessarily make it super satisfying to do just on a mechanical interaction level where it's like, okay, the entire turn is solved and the fight is solved as well, but I need to figure out exactly how many just causes and, oh, should I get the Zephyr for the floor? And, oh, wait, hang on, if I take the fight a little longer, maybe I can get it to... That, it can all be quite tedious. I'm just going to take Savior to avoid that. The Savior line gives us an ability, cooldown of 3, advance to the front of the line, gain Valor 5, and then gain armor equal to 1 times Valor. So I can also then just cause the unit behind it ahead again. Which in fact I will do here, so that we have some stacks of Valor to start propagating on the Avenger. There is no reason I need to take damage this turn. Loam Coat for the Fallen Champions, so I don't have to worry about them getting out of control. Spore Touch, Spore Touch, Spore Touch! That'll do it. Ooh, Divinity. Selfless Sacrifice is also really good. Advance the unit to the front line, apply damage shield 2. If any of that damage shield remains by the end of the turn, the Loam Coat can propagate it. If we propagate enough damage shield, we can completely avoid all of the downsides of Corruption. Corruption can get doubled as many times as it likes. We can take 1,000 corruption damage at the end of every turn if it only costs us 1 damage shield. That definitely breaks that tie, I think. Green Recruit gives us an opportunity to have a spawn floor. I do like spawn, especially when I have Loam Coats. Gooey Plus for sapping enemies. Give me the Green Recruit. Especially because we have the additional upgrade slots, so we could end up with, you know, like, Endless and, you know, some event things. It can do stupid things with enough upgrades. Merchant of Steel, Underlegion, Merchant of Steel banished. I would say I care more about looking at Underlegion at the moment. And maybe I do care about getting deployable upgrades at Merchant of Arms a lot more to just get a Loam Coat out early. Damn. Titanite Large Stone for an Avenger. And that still leaves open the possibility to mini-stone the Avenger later. For a tank unit? I don't know what else I could possibly have been asking for. Spore Launcher, Rally. Apply decay 2 enemy units. That would be that and an Endless Green Recruit on the bottom line? Wow. And then the second line is the Avenger and Fell. So this is more about taking down individual large targets with the melee weakness on them. Of course, the Spore Launcher is not ready to act like that because we don't have the base spawn cards in the deck. It's far off in the future because currently we only have one way to get troops on the board. That's it for now. Then do that, then do that. Penitent Blood Suit, Spore Touch, and Spear Stew with the next four. Gotta use the ability when I can, just so I can gain that Valor. Again, I'll just confirm that the damage units die. There's our Loam Coat. No need for us to take damage. Ooh. Tight Knight doing work. I do think a second copy of Selfless Sacrifice fits in this deck. Not a third Loam Coat, but definitely the first Proliferate. Propagation is coming in spades now. Alright, Merchant of Arms. Grow Room is obviously important. I'll take that. I'll also make our Loam Coat deployable. Overgrowth Carapace. I do want to mini-stone the Avenger at some point. I kind of want to take the Overgrowth Carapace just in case. Because if I do get a mini-stone and I can put that on the Avenger, it's the best scaling opportunity for me. Because then I can just merge a Loam Coat and an Overgrowth Carapace, and I can leverage the giant amount of deployable Ember we have from Herzl's Horde to really do work. So I'll take that, even though it's speculative. Here I'll also look at the Celestial Larko first, just in case we end up with ourselves getting weaker. Frailty. So both of these, or rather Frailty is going to give Fragile to the unit, so it can no longer take any direct damage, but it permanently gains 10 damage after each fight. Just not appropriate for any of our units at the moment. Ascetic Penance. Ember Drain 2, but Summon, gain 3 Ember. Perfect kind of thing for us to put on the Green Recruit, because it intends to die as soon as it's summoned. So it won't be around long enough for the Ember Drain to be a problem. Get High Remains and move into our first boss fight. It's going to be important to me to make sure that the boss has decay on them consistently. I'll also prevent the Lurking Miscreant from giving me a status effect. Oh no, that Fleshling is going to go to the top line. It's fine. Penitent Bloodsuit. Although Penitent Bloodsuit would be so much better on Fleshweaver right now. Like, the only situation you care about it at all is exactly right now, when you are fighting a flying boss. What happened to the fleshling that went to the... Oh, right, yeah, we killed it with the Penitent Bloodsuit. I forgot about that immediately. Flashling goes to top line, dies. Regrettably, Spear Steward is not enough to keep these units alive. No, it is. It is. It is. There you go. And then proliferate for the bottom line. Drop the Vengeful Shard. Adding the Loam Coat to the Spore Launcher is enough to save them. Is it a good idea? Probably not. Oh no. I've not carved much mass off of this guy yet. I'm certainly a little concerned about my lack of mass carvation. And there we go. We've got a giant amount of melee weakness on you, and now we're bopping you directly for 120 damage. And carving 2 pieces of mass up at the same time, so that'll help. I say that'll help, never mind, that'll just cinch it entirely and quite easily as it turns out. Our bottom line is not threatened. 131 health and we take 28 of it in damage. Wings Radiance. X cost advance, apply 1x melee weakness. Oh, Sanctuary. Apply damage shield 2 to friendly units. In a world where I'm also using a grow room to propagate all of the units on the same floor. Perfect. Oh, there's Sword Maiden. Sword Maiden. Summon an equipment, on summon rather, draw an equipment card from your deck. Artificer, gain Valor 8. We're not equipping many pieces of equipment on the same floor. I don't think that's what I want, especially if I do want to try and go with the large Loam Coat strategy at some point. Prickly Puffball, yeah. Squad Leader could definitely go, try and go on the same line as Spore Launcher, right? No, we don't need a trample unit there. Honestly, it feels like the answer here is either a Prickly Puffball that I just leave on its own floor doing nothing for most of the time, or nothing. Give me the Puffball. And energy is definitely still a problem for us, but I don't need additional deployment energy right now. There's a small argument to be made for capacity, but I do want to... I don't think I need that. I will take the draw. Merchant of Trinkets, Merchant of Magic. That's a Merchant of Arms with an Unstable Vortex and Empyrean Well next to it. That's pretty valuable space. Okay, show me the Merchant of Magic with the money here. Spell Chain and Double Stack, huge. Amorous and Nogi. On rally our health and regen to friendly units. Yeah, I mean, sure. Okay, first things first, we are taking 1 off the cost of Proliferate, and we are also adding Spell Chain to it so that we can use it 2 different times on the same turn to propagate 4 to all units. And then we're going to add Double Stack to the Sanctuary, so it applies damage shield 4 to all friendly units. And then over, gain lifesteal. Sorry, lifesteal. Savior 2, rather. That's, I think, 15 Valor now? Yeah, gain Valor 15. Otherwise the same. And add a breaststone and spawn on each floor. Yeah, we should be pretty comfortable clearing out the bottom line's Penitent Prayer Stone very early. So here's the thing. Right now, I don't think Spore Launcher is appropriate for our builds. It's very expensive and it's not really ever using its effect. So I think bottom line is just Prickly Puffball, Amorous, and Noki, which you do in the other order so that it actually gets the rally trigger. Prickly Puffball. Good Lord, Ryan. It's because I said it in that order, and I was like, oh, I guess I have to commit to that order. No, it's the Amorous Inoki, then the Prickly Puffball. They both have 1 additional health and regen 1. Then we'll throw the Avenger and Fell on the second floor. I guess we still play Spore Launcher on the top line. And the first Lone Coat goes on Avenger. So this will give us the ability to consistently remove the Profane Supplicant in the back line, which is our primary target. It doesn't really matter to me that much how long the bottom line lives for. By the time it's relevant, the second line is already to take over. Green Recruit! Yay! It spawns in! Woo! When it dies, it spawns 4 more. So that is a total of 5 health given to all of our units, as well as a bunch of regen, which may end up being able to keep the Prickly Puffball alive. One unfortunate outcome of this is that the Profane Supplicants in the backline aren't going to be taking any damage, and also I'm not going to be able to Penitent Bloodsuit anyone, and that Collector is going to be collecting. Rough. But, you know, everything else is going well. Oh, that money. Oh, you don't even know what I could have done with that money. Neither do I. We'll never know what I could have done with that money. Actually... Oh, I'm not even capable of taking down the Profane Supplicant. Yuck. These troops both saved the floor, but doomed the floor. I needed them to hit the Prickly Puffball. Well, they're back to doing that at least. And this top line will be okay, it looks like. Start propagating a little bit of damage here before the next line comes up. You can take a bunch of our damage away, but you still have just enough to overwhelm you. Ooh, Shield of Wing, Cursed Twin Blade. Shield of Wing on an Avenger in the front line, it's 100 damage to pretty much every unit. Where, of course, Cursed Twin Blade is a giant amount of damage for Fell. I don't even have the mini stone that would make the overgrowth carapace appropriate at this point. Give me the shielded wing. Hey, there's a lot of me that thinks that maybe another grow room is the right option here. Just have a grow room on 2 different floors. Yeah. No, give me truffles. Free piece of equipment. Lasting light. Strike. Apply valid 2 to friendly units. No one's like especially good at wielding that here. Boiler room bottom line. That would actually be really nice. Let's also combine a shield of wing and the deployable loam coat. And then I will make the... I mean, it should probably be the boiler room deployable. Stasis. I guess I could technically put Amorous Inoki in stasis, and eventually it would come out and be much larger, but... That's unnecessary, I think. And even then, at the end, when it comes out, what? It's got 100 damage on it? Like, that doesn't matter in the next couple of fights that we're going to go into. I need to save some money as well, so... we'll leave that as is. I'm also very comfy removing the Penitent Blood suits at any time, but the Shield Stewards aren't getting played, and then I don't even have the capacity to play them, so they're much more obvious dead weight in the deck at the moment. I really like the idea of getting another copy of the Green Recruit, because another copy of the extremely expensive merged equipment is going to be very difficult to play. Admittedly, another copy of Proliferate sounds incredible, though. And the Green Recruit's returns to our deck are quite minimal at the moment. I really need it to be endless so that it has like consistent value generation before I can really turn around and go, oh, this is a really good idea. I need more of this now. Otherwise, duping it is like giving it endless but only once. Double enemy units restore 150 health when they move up a floor. That's fine. We tend to do our big kill on 1 floor. Do I want to do that on the bottom line then? Because I don't think I need the Prickly Buffball in this one. I think this one's literally just big merged equipment and then boiler room bottom line. Prickly Buffball to catch anyone that goes top past us. Yeah, that already clears this lane. I'm going to use Sanctuary for 4 damage shield to all friendly units. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to naturally propagate on this floor, but the boiler room will give you a huge amount of energy, so I'm not going to be too sad about that. Yeah, I'm just going all in. I made sure that both of them have damage shield triggers as well as Valor, so both of them wearing loam coats at this point will also propagate 2 additional of each of those every single turn. Oh, Truffles found a Swift Steel Dagger. Can't really put that on anyone, to be fair. Let's get 8 more stacks of all of these buffs on the bottom line. I will say the additional energy at this point no longer excites. I'll replace that with propagating. Yeah, like I can even just take Ember Drain there. No need to worry about that. Truffles found lava armor, though it's not at all relevant. Get him! Yeah, if I can have my bottom line just have so much damage shield that the enemies can never touch them, I feel like that's going to work out pretty well for us. Demonize, 3 Ember, descend a unit, apply melee weakness 2. There's also Heroic Dive, descend and advance a friendly unit, deal damage equal to 2 times this unit's health and armor. I like the idea of Heroic Dive here just because it's a large nuke associated to having a Avenger on the board. Does 240 damage to the frontline enemy unit before anything else happens. Granted, I really want more damage than that, but that's what's on offer. Demonize is largely valuable in terms of trying to remove the Seraph Eternus from the floor that you care about. However, it does move them downwards rather than upwards, which typically also moves them to a floor that you care about. Cheery Deathcap versus Mulch. No, it's Mulch. 0 Ember, consume, draw an additional card next turn. For every 15 cards in your deck, draw 1 more. Green Recruit now has Ascetic Absolution, no longer has the Ember Drain. With the amount of money I have, I really should be going a Merchant of Trinkets. And I'm not going to go Merchant of Arms in 2 space time, so yeah, I'll go Merchant of Trinkets here and then Merchant of Steel, and I probably end up going Merchant of Steel again at the very end. Sick. When you play 3 different kinds of card in a turn, draw 1, gain 1. We commonly do that. Twisted Mycelium, turn start, spawn 1 on each floor per 20 cards in your deck. Yeah. The main problem with that is I don't want things spawning in front of the Avenger. However, all I need is 1 move trigger to move the Avenger directly back in front, and it doesn't matter after that point. In fact, it becomes very beneficial for our other floors. And Void Fragment removes a card at the end of the battle. That just gives me 1, 2, 3, 3 more card removals for significantly less than the cost of the first 3 card removals. I'll reroll here. Oh, that's unfortunate. I would have possibly been able to afford something here with 145, I think. But no dice. Everything rolls up as expensive, including Ancient Roots. Ooh. Oh, Abyssal Prism. Oh, imagine Abyssal Prism. I guess self-sack becomes AoE. Actually, it's not that great. Stryx and Hallow have a Revenge and Siphon trigger. Cool. I think I probably go Energy after this battle. So, Amorous Inoki, Prickly Puffball, bottom line, Boiler Room. No, I can't leave the merged equipment off the Avenger, so I can't play Boiler Room on the bottom line just yet. Or maybe I don't play the Amorous Inoki. I don't play the Amorous Inoki just yet. This is perfectly fine. I throw Bell to the front line and then Just Cause to get the Avenger to the front line instead. And Prickly Puffball, I'm going to give you the Overgrowth Carapace. You're just going to start growing every turn. Sadly, there was no order where I could play also Blight or something like that to pull the rest of the turn as well. Do I let them clear the bottom line and just set up big on the second line? I just don't have enough tax. Just like a raw amount of attacks I don't have to clear out as much as I need on that second line. So Grow Room definitely goes up here. There's a possibility of just like giving some damage shield to the bottom line and in doing so managing to keep Prickly Puffball alive for another turn, but it's not a plan with a future. Whereas a plan with a future would be, you know, something like self-sacrifice on this line. Just cause to get Fun Guy to have some valor, just cause to get the Avenger back to the front of the line, and then mulch, proliferate. Something like that. We get a huge amount of energy out of the previous turn, allowing us to burn out the Calcified Ember, as well as play another Sanctuary. In addition to that, I'm going to drop a Penitent Bloodsuit on both of the bosses. And our Loam Coat for Fel will now be propagating additional Valor and Damage Shield at the end of each turn. Let's get a Truffles on the top line and pull out a Fortified Pauldrons, sure. Playing Vengeful Shard, then draws his card. The Green Recruit. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can play you anywhere. Let's Spore Touch the boss a couple of times. Then double Proliferate. Not just the decay on them. I don't want to hit Fel's ability this turn. I need to be able to move the Avenger back to the front line to comfortably use that. Like this, where I have a selfless sacrifice to do so. Just gonna Spore Touch backline targets that I can get rid of. Whoa. Stryx is getting some health. Oh, the Shield of Wing is doing so much work on the second floor. Yay, Celestial! We burn out... Sorry, not Celestial. We burn out another Ember. Calcified Ember is the word I was looking for there. I saw C and then a long word, and I was like, that's Celestial. No need to read the rest of it. I know my words. I've unfortunately failed to collect both of the Malevolent Hunters that were ascending there. Oops. Yeah. With 20 damage shields on our front line, we don't even register a hit on our units before all the enemies die. This is definitely how we're dealing with the corruption. Heavensward. 2 amber to ascend friendly units, then advance the highest friendly health unit on the new floor. Honestly, that's not bad. That would give me the ability to send up, like, you know, Amorous Inoki and Prickly Puffball to the second floor, and then have the Avenger just lead the line. It's honestly just more units. It's more heft on the field. Great Decay, allowing us to consume our spells. I have no spells that are safe from that, so we would very quickly go through our entire deck. And then Spike the Banish for 4x Valor on a single unit, which is fine. Give me Heavensward. If I can get Intrinsic on that, we can really do some stuff. I'm also going to take the additional energy, as I'd mentioned. Card removal, yeah, it's about time. Even though they're 0 cost and they give me the ability to occasionally trigger the versatile Amber Staff, I gotta get rid of those. Yeah, so this one's gonna be Merchant of Steel. Well, there's the Mini Stone for the Avenger. Which actually, is that a problem? Because then that Avenger wants to wear the Overgrowth Carapace. Maybe it cares about melee weakness instead. Why do I care about its capacity? If I'm gonna overstack its floor in a different way. I'm gonna give you dualism. I'm also going to Smidgestone the Spore Launcher. Give 8 straight up Valor to the Prickly Puffball. I wish I could re-roll here and get a bunch of value as well, but Imprisoned Zephyr, no. Stoic Plate Mail. Best on a Twisting Mycelium spawn, the Stoic Plate Mail. If I wanted to keep one alive, which, yeah, I guess. 14 additional damage, not so relevant. I don't want to reroll here, whereas we still have a Merchant of Steel in the next area that I might be able to make use of. Rerolls are pretty expensive. Savior 3. This one's important because it does change the ability. We get still 15 Valor, but friendly units gain armor equal to 1 times Fell's Valor. Rather than just Fell. Higher Dampener. Dampener Fire. Thankfully, we have the Hell's Flame, making that a lot easier for us to manage. Right, so... this is... the story of a Prickly Puffball. A Avenger... wait, hang on, do I have the energy to... oh, no, wait, 100% don't. No, wait, I totally do. Okay, it's Amorous, Prickly, Boiler Room, Avenger, Merged Equipment, Bell. Ooh, Grow Room, Vengeful Shard, and then I even have a Just Cause? Hell yeah. Ooh, Stoic Plate Mail. Yeah, I'll give that to our fungi on the second floor. There's a blood suit for you. Truffles on the top line. You give me a new piece of equipment. It is a Everlasting Light. I'll give that to Fell to try and get some more. So for the second line, currently, Sanctuary's so good for that second line right now. But Overgrowth Carapace is everything Prickly Puffball would need to support it for the rest of this. And then I think this Loam Coat, I'm gonna replace the silence that I'd put on a fungi so that you can start to propagate the additional Valor that you're gonna get from Fell and the additional troop stacks so that we can get enough damage on this line to start contesting 500 health enemies, because that's clearly not a thing we're good at yet. just short of being able to take out a terrifying amalgam on that floor now. But thankfully, we have enough damage on the next line that we will. This is not an appropriate time to roll Heavensward. Is it not an appropriate time to roll Heavensward? Oh no, I can't put the Spore Launcher on the top line and then do it. Dang. Send a friendly and advance that unit. Like, if I did that here, it doesn't even end up doing damage to the Avowed Gladiator. The unit descends, but just gets merged into a previously existing troop stack and doesn't do anything. What I really want to do is just drop Sanctuary on the second line and double Proliferate. I want to see if there's a way that I can get Fel involved in that. But realistically, take the best play that's in front of you. I haven't even hit the melee weakness of the Terrifying Amalgam. You advance. Oh, give you a bunch of Spore Touch just in case it helps. Ooh, Lava Armor. Yes, please. Hell yeah, that unit has less than 100 health when it goes to the top line, which means it only gets the Battle List for a single turn. And now we're capable of taking down 2 400 health units in a row on the second line. We are just squeaking by those requirements, though. I mean, yeah, I could... Oh, I should, because the enemy powers up. And that Terrifying Amalgam's still going to hit me for 5 damage no matter what. Yeah, I'm in heavens with them off that floor. Hello. Welcome to the line where we do the damage. Most of you did not survive hitting the revenge unit. Another Shield of Wing. I mean, yeah, I have multiple frontliners, but without being able to also merge that into some other effect, it feels very difficult to utilize. A second Shield of Wing. Well, I am about to give a bunch of health, possibly to a Prickly Puffball, if I see the ability to do so. Never mind, let me take that. Fertile Ground, consume, spawn 1. Spawn 1 more for each card in your consume pile, of which we have a reasonable amount. I'm not going to say many, I will say a reasonable amount. Wow. Ancient Firestone, 3 additional deployment Ember. Valor adds an additional armor per stack is nice. When you equip an Angel, apply 3 Rage, 3 Valor, and 3 Regen. The reason I'll take this is because it gives me a Rage stack on the Avenger, who is an Angel, when I equip them, and then they can start propagating that every turn. Titan's Edict, that is, honestly, it is more armor. It is. Our armor isn't really how we defend ourselves. It's the whole damage shield thing we do. At the end of battle, front friendly unit on each floor permanently gains 6. Incredible if you get it early. First room floor is blades each. Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna go look at the Merchant of Steel. Another dualism on offer. Let's give dualism to the prickly puffball. Let me give you 20 additional health as well. Then spawn with Valor, no. Smidge Stone, no. Reroll. There's the Endless, but do I want a large stone, a spore launcher or something like that instead? That plus 10 health and plus 10 regen would have put that on the prickly puffball all day, every day, if I saw the option at the right time. Let's use the unstable... I mean, the spore touches are contributing almost nothing to this deck at this point. I'll, in fact, cut a third. Plus 10 health, plus 10 regen. Sure, I can give that to a spore launcher without it changing anything about the game. Prickly Puffball, you don't need to live forever on the bottom line. You just need to live long enough. Also, we can get the Spore Launcher down there as well with you now. Let's start propagating some of that damage shield. Descend and then advance. Okay, yeah. Green Recruit, I'll descend and advance you, then you'll be the unit that takes this damage, which then prevents me from getting the additional double hit on Avenger. Avenger only takes 1 damage at the end of this turn, which means you still have damage shield to propagate by the end of the round, and the Green Recruit spawns 4 troops, but they go over to the fun guy who's in the back line. Burn out the Calcified Ember, draw another card. Fertile Ground. I'll play it on the bottom line for a bunch of regen and rally. Regen rally triggers and DK rally triggers as well. And those just happen at the start of the turn because of the spawn of a single fun guy. Woohoo! Room set up the second floor now. Mulch. Let's go Stoic Plate Mail on the board. I'm going to self-sack on this bottom floor and then double proliferate down here. We get a decent amount of decay because the proliferates also cause new troop spawns on the bottom line, but we also keep the Prickly Puffball a lot healthier, whereas it was looking like it was getting on its last legs without that. I can't use the Overgrowth Carapace at this point because the Spore Launcher is already on a full floor. I can, however, equip a Shield of Wing that'll do a lot of work down there. Oh, wow. There you go, Troubles. You can wear an Overgrowth Carapace. Get 20/20 larger each turn, please. Beauty. Yeah, I can't really keep that fungi alive on the bottom line with just a single loam coat here. Okay, it certainly looks like we'll be losing our Prickly Pop Ball this round. I'm just gonna play a Overgrowth Carapace on a unit that is definitely gonna die. So that I can get rid of it. We've only got 3 more waves, but we've got enough damage shield on the second line at this point that we should be just 9 damage shield. Yeah, we should still be comfortable with even just that. Oh, Hef's Hammer. Adding capacity to a floor is not nothing. Still don't know what to do with that Heavens with, though. As long as we keep the decay on that deforming duo, it'll go down. Oh, wow. We're leaking one of the Avenged... I mean, there's a lot of health on this floor, but we are leaking one of the Vount Gladiators. Thankfully, it won't matter, because our kill floor is the second floor. Uh-oh. We may have leaked enough units that we've lost damage shield on Avenger. Oh, no. Oh, an Overgrowth Carapace is not going to do anything. That's a Blight. That's a Scourge. Okay, it drew a useless card. If I invert the order of the party, we definitely lose that there. Oh, no. You're kidding me. One more turn, I couldn't give him 76 armor to everyone. There. What about this? No, that's not better. Avenger definitely needs to be in front. Oh, no. Well, it takes down everyone else. I thought we had enough damage shield that it wasn't a problem. Yeah, Heavenswood's not gonna fix that. Oh, my fire! Oh! I was so certain we were so fine that nothing could possibly rather, actually harm us. Just a little bit more Divine Shield to that middle line could have kept the Avenger alive. I really felt like I needed to use any additional Divine Shield where I did, because I think I only used one on the bottom line for a Prickly Puffball in that fight, or maybe for the unit in front of the Prickly Puffball to keep the Prickly Puffball comfortable, which itself did save a lot of Divine Shield triggers, damage shield triggers, on the Avenger, because it prevented units from coming up to the second line. Maybe Capacity instead of Hell's Flame, but I couldn't have known I was going to find the Artificial Pyre Stone to make deployment so much easier. Alas, we had a new personal record of damage taken. Absolutely, it was a new personal record of damage taken. Ow. Head back to the outpost. I'm going to collect myself and see what we can do on another train in the next episode. Until then, though, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game is being Monstering 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content to the Game Pass, present, and future. YouTube recommendations are down below, streaming past. Other names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. I hope of the thanks here, and a special thanks this episode to Nick Starfield. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully see you all next time.